Welcome back to Today in Rocket Science. I'm Adam Balkin. When people think of chemistry, they tend to think of old guys in lab coats, big universities, and lots of homework. But a new company wants to make chemistry accessible to everyone. And the best part, you don't even have to leave the comfort of your own home. Rocco Vertuccio has the story.
It's part of a trend in startups based on the business model of sending you a box of goodies once a month. But this one packs much more than clothes, cosmetics, or shaving supplies. Mel Chemistry will send you everything you need to turn your home into a laboratory. Everything from chemistry of monsters to science for spies. We caught up with YouTube chemistry all-star Tyler DeWitt, who gave us the lowdown on what the kit is all about.
Kids don't have enough opportunities these days, I think, to play around with science. I think the chemistry set is awesome because it allows kids starting at a really young age to start just playing around with chemistry, to see how cool it is, and then learn more from there.
One of the experiments Tyler demoed for us includes a type of chemistry called oxidation and reduction.
We had tin dissolved in water. And then by running electricity through that tin solution, we can turn the tin atoms back into solid metal tin. And this is by adding electrons to some of those tin atoms that were dissolved. So you can get some really cool stuff happening. Batteries are all because of oxidation reduction. So it's really cool for kids to be able to see this in such a visual format.
Of course, you can't have chemistry without acids and bases.
In the lab, scientists usually look to see whether something is acidic or basic, depending on the color that it changes an indicator solution. Like this, we see this rainbow of colors. Each one of these cups has a solution that has a different pH, it has a different acid-base level. Students get to play around with indicators. It's super visual, and they get an understanding of how acids and bases work.
One unique aspect of the Mel Chemistry set, it's meant to be shared, so your own experiments can help to get other people interested and involved in doing chemistry at home as well.
The kits have a macro lens that you can use on your cell phone so that you can make videos of the various experiments that you're doing, and then you can share those on social media sites. So it's all about getting students to get excited about this stuff, but also to share it with their peers.
The Mel Chemistry Monthly Science Kit will deliver ready-to-go science experiments like these straight to your door, getting future scientists ready for the lab, one kit at a time. For It Ain't Rocket Science, I'm Rocco Vertuccio.
And there's some everyday chemistry happening right inside your home that even grown-ups have trouble with, and it all happens in the kitchen. Lynn Wagner gives us the scoop on a new cookbook that uses science to lend a helping hand to cooks.
Jeff Potter is committed to helping the struggling cooks of the world get their footing in the kitchen. He says when it comes to whipping up culinary confidence, the main ingredient is science.
For me, cooking really is about getting into the kitchen and having fun, but a lot of people don't feel comfortable in the kitchen. How do you feel comfortable in the kitchen? You understand how things work. The science of cooking is chemistry, it's physics, it's biology. It's about going off recipe. Make an educated, smart guess about how is this going to come out? How can I make it better? Oh no, something went wrong, how can I fix it? All of these things involve science, and once you know that science, you can have fun.
So where does science come into play in the kitchen? How about popcorn? It's all about physics.
So this is popping corn.
Popping corn.
Popping corn, popcorn. It's not the same thing as fresh corn. The difference between this and regular corn is that the pericarp, that's the outside here, take one of the little kernels and just squish it, feel it. You feel how tough that is? It's not at all like what you think of fresh corn. This is how it comes off the plant. That really tough outer pericarp is why it pops. It's because when it heats up, there is water inside that kernel. And that water has no place to go because it's trapped by the pericarp. And eventually, when it gets hot enough, the pericarp can't take the pressure and it blows up.
Look at all the steam coming out, too.
And for you bakers out there, ever wonder about the difference between baking soda and baking powder? That's chemistry.
Baking powder versus baking soda. What's the difference? How do I know which one to use when? So the simple answer in the science lingo is, well, baking soda is a single compound. Baking powder, on the other hand, is a mixture of compounds, more than one thing. And you get it wet, add some heat, and those things react, produce carbon dioxide, give off bubbles, give us rise in things like pancakes and muffins. So the question is, when do you use which one? And the answer is, it depends upon what you're mixing it in with. So in the case of baking soda, it needs an acid to react with. So you talked about this volcano, the third grade activity we all know where we add some vinegar to that. Let's do that.
Okay, let's do that. Wow!
You get a reaction. It's the whole acid-base reaction thing. Like you just added an acid to the base. So it totally depends upon the ingredients that you have there. Baking powder, on the other hand, is a mixture of different powders that when you get wet, they react. It's both the acid and the base, so that, well, you don't have to add anything else. It's just to add water and heat. So dump it into the second glass and stir nice and quick. And you'll see it actually bubbles up a little bit.
These experiments are just a small sample of the tips and tricks you'll find in Jeff's book, Cooking for Geeks. So next time you're having trouble in the kitchen, you might want to add a dash of science to make your recipe a success. For It Ain't Rocket Science, I'm Lynn Wagner.
Science!
For those cooks out there, you got to get your ingredients somewhere. Well, a new movement to utilize urban space for agriculture is allowing thousands of city dwellers to get their greens locally. McGowan takes us inside one of these urban greenhouses.
It may not be the first thing to come to mind when you think of cutting-edge innovation, but farming has been getting a high-tech makeover. Gotham Greens is an urban agriculture company whose greenhouses are shattering the idea of traditional farming.
Our concept was to create these high-tech, commercial-scale greenhouses right here in the heart of the city to be able to grow farm fresh produce year-round. There's a lot of really interesting science in these greenhouses.
Their 4 rooftop facilities in New York and Chicago have more than 170,000 square feet of growing space and produce upwards of 20 million heads of lettuce a year for city dwellers. The climate-controlled hydroponic greenhouses are carefully engineered to produce the best crop yield and run on 100% clean energy. Because produce typically gets to grocery stores in big cities via trucks or air travel, urban farms give consumers an option to purchase locally grown produce that's also more environmentally friendly. And of course, none of this would be possible without tons of science, technology, engineering, and math.
You've of course got biology, all kinds of plant sciences, whether it's plant physiology or botany or horticulture, and then there's also a lot of chemistry. Our growers really pay attention to the nutrients that our crops are getting, so they're adjusting different types of nutrients, magnesium and potassium and nitrogen, measuring things like pH and salinity and acidity and base and things like that. So there's a great degree of science and engineering in these greenhouses.
Viraj says the best place to start if you're interested in a career in this field is by getting to know plants and getting your hands a little dirty.
Work in a community garden, work in a school garden, volunteer. These are biological things, they're living things. It's not a manufacturing process, it's all natural processes, and just learning about photosynthesis and pest management and disease control. And then if someone would want to take it a little step further, really getting into the nitty-gritties of biology and chemistry would really set someone up for a career in greenhouses and urban agriculture.
Thinking about going green in your career? The United Nations projects that the global population will surpass 9 billion people by 2050, and that 65% of those people will live in urban areas. A future in urban farming may not only be a great career choice, but could be crucial to keeping food on the table. For It Ain't Rocket Science, I'm McGowan.
All right, we do have to stop for one more quick break. Then, coming up, we head to Texas for a public school science fair where some students are looking to revolutionize agriculture in their own way, and they're using drones to do it. And we'll speed things up as we check out the launch of the Drone Racing League's 2016 circuit. To find hands-on science, technology, engineering, and math opportunities in your community, visit theconnectory.org, made possible by Time Warner Cable's Connect a Million Minds.